Hey Delmarva, happy Friday, and thank you for joining us on this Friday afternoon. We are your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo, and here we are, the final day of the White Marlin Open.
Yeah, and one of Leah's best hair days.
Yes.
Look at that blowout.
Crushing it.
I know. I had to give it some love, you know.
Thank you. I appreciate
of course.
it. Well, you know, our friends over at Rehoboth Beauty Boutique are always keeping us pretty.
Always. Ever since, stand by. They showed you how to blow dry, and it's just been a moment.
It has been.
It's been
Thank
a
you.
moment. Of course, you're welcome. All right, now that we're done being some girls, we got to talk White Marlin Open.
Yes, 50 years of doing this White Marlin Open, and it's never what you expect.
Nope.
You can think somebody's got the winning fish, and then somebody else will come in towards at the end and be just like, oh, actually, I have the biggest fish.
And when I eat sushi, I didn't even know tuna could weigh like 250 pounds. I imagine them like salmons, like small.
Yeah, no, tuna are, they're big.
They are big. Yeah, so we're going to talk more about White Marlin Open in a little bit because we have to talk about Subway really quick.
Yes, do you remember it was a few weeks ago we were talking about Subway and how if you legally changed your name to Subway, they were going to give you free Subway for a lifetime.
For life. And we were like, who would do that?
Yeah. Well, apparently
10,000 people
are interested in doing this. 10,000 of them.
They've got this. So I was making fun of Subway at first, even though I love their white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. I was making fun of them because they said people were going to have to apply. They weren't going to accept everybody. I'm like, please, what? It's hard to give 3 people free Subway? Now I get why they needed applications.
But when you also think about it, it really could be life-changing for somebody because like if you are... You know, food is expensive, and you've got free meals for a lifetime just because you changed your name to Subway. Like that's a big deal.
I honestly wasn't joking when I said I would consider it. You and your kids could eat free the rest of your life.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, holy guacamole! You get what's it called? $5 foot long. Cut it in half.
And all you gotta be is Subway Marley.
Subway Marley and Subway Rizzo.
So here we are.
I think I honestly would have done it if I like already had kids or if I was already married. I just don't know how I feel about it being like on their birth certificates that their mom's name is Subway.
Yeah, because I also guess if you're not married yet and somebody's got to say, do you Subway Marley take so-and-so to be your lawfully wedded husband?
Yeah, I got to run to the courthouse and then I'll apply it for the name change. But shout out to you. I hope someone on Delmarva has applied. Please tell us if you applied.
Please.
We will have you on the show.
Yes.
Or we'll keep you anonymous. Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. I love that for you.
Something else that we kind of wanted to dive into, this is something that got us talking downstairs while we were preparing today's show for you. Because you and I have actually joked about this before. Peaking in high school. I feel like we see a lot of skits about it on TikTok where they'll be like, girl who peaked in high school from your hometown, and they'll like proceed to do whatever skit they're doing. Your dad jokes.
I think I may have peaked in high school.
I don't think
so. But then I think about it, and Leah convinced me I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, thank you. So here's the difference, right? So you could be, I almost was like someone like me who loved high school, or you could be someone who, and when I tell you, you're gonna think of someone. Yeah, man, we almost won states. We were so close. I could have went pro. Who else has peaked in high school? Like, the person who's always like, this girl in high school, and we had so much drama, and I still hate her. Meanwhile, like that girl's moved on and married with children and a job. Like,
she's living her best life. Yeah. I think sometimes too, people that were really committed to their high school theater.
Fair.
They also often sometimes can't escape high school theater.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I will tell you, I was such a high school stereotype that I, to this day, will stop myself. Like, even if it's relevant to the conversation, I'll be like, don't bring that up. You're going to sound like someone who peaked in high school. I got a lot of high school stories, and I'm like, nope.
I think there's a difference, too, as well. It's perfectly fine if you loved high school. So much change and growth and deciding who you want to be happens in those adolescent years. I mean, there's a reason so many TV shows, movies, books are about adolescence and that time spent growing up. It's so important to who we become as adults.
Yes.
But I do think there's also sort of a second adolescence that we go through into like proper adulthood that I feel like getting out of your 20s, that's sort of like your 20s is like the trial run for adulthood for a lot of people.
Yes.
I mean, I think if you have kids in your 20s, like whenever you decide to have kids, that's sort of the first like big grown-up step. Suddenly you're taking care of somebody who's not you and they become your whole world. But I think if you didn't have kids in your 20s, you sort of have the second adulthood in your 30s where you're like, wait, now I'm very confident in who I am.
Yes.
Who I want to be
Tell
and
them.
how I want to navigate this world. And it's not the same as how I was navigating it 10 years ago.
Girl, who I was 2 years ago is not the same at all. Holy guacamole.
Yeah, so I think it's always just important to leave room for whatever growth is coming your way, whatever point in adulthood you're in, because like life changes, and
tell 'em, Leah.
You gotta roll with it.
Look, if you peaked in high school, we love you, but I'm just going to give you a little warning that
Stop talking about your football team.
please stop talking about how you could
We
almost
know you have the Letterman jacket.
Yeah,
we know it doesn't fit anymore.
take your class ring off, especially if you didn't go play professionally somewhere. And yeah, just let the drama go. Let your ex-boyfriend from high school go, girl. If he's moved on and you're still mad about it.
Yeah.
And if you can't think of anyone, if you're like, I don't know anyone like that, it's you.
Could be you.
It's you.
Could be you.
And we still love you.
And we still love you. Yeah, of course. You know what else we love? How many fantastic local events go on all summer long along coastal Del Mar. But
So
there's
many.
a few coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Rehoboth Art League still has their outdoor show.
Also the 50th anniversary, just
Yes.
like White Marlin Open.
Isn't that awesome?
A
lot going on 50 years ago.
Yeah, what was going on 50 years ago? They were having a good old time. But also there's a dolphin tour with Mare Institute. Yes.
Sounds like a really cool like, kind of date night too, if you're looking for something kind of a way to give back, but also a little sunset dolphin cruise.
Cash bar, watch some dolphins. Ooh, what you doing this weekend, Leah? Well, I know what I'm doing
Yep.
right now.
Yep.
Watching more Coast Life.
That's right, because we've got a lot more Coast Life coming your way. We are sitting down with local celebrity pastry chef Drew Tevis, telling us about a wonderful event that they're doing, teaming up with Rouseabout Books.
And we have Robert Rector back. He is clearing up a lot of confusion, answering a lot of questions about the strikes going on the West Coast.
And it's Friday. That means we are introducing you to a new four-legged friend that could be your forever fur baby with our pet of the week. All that and more is coming your way with more Coast Life when we get back.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, and Shell Brothers.
Do you love a good meal? Do you love a good cookbook?
Yes.
Well, we are combining these things for you, especially if you love desserts.
Yes.
We've got a very special and familiar guest here on Coast Life today. We're welcoming Drew Tevis once again to the Coast Life couch.
Great to be back.
We always love having you. Thanks for coming back.
Absolutely,
Yes.
my pleasure.
Now you're here to sort of promote a very interesting cookbook and an event that you guys are doing.
Yes.
And teaming up with our friends at Rouseabout.
Yes. So this coming Monday, at Fish On, we are doing a cookbook tour event for the book 50 Pies, 50 States.
Yum.
And this is a book that was written by Stacey May Yan Fong. She started this project as a blog in 2016, where she made a decision. She loved, she was an immigrant to this country when she was young. She grew up in Savannah, Georgia, originally from Singapore, grew up in Hong Kong, and she just found that like so much of being in America was learning about it through the food. She was applying for a green card, and you guys know the process they put them through to do that. Like they end up knowing more about America than we do as American citizens.
Yes.
So through studying for that, like she found like you learn so much about areas culture from their food. So she decided to do this project through a blog that she was going to bake a pie for every single state. She was going to do research on each state and kind of look into the culture of that state, the food, the history, and determine what the best pie would be, develop it, bake it, and then dedicate it to a person from that state and actually physically give it to them. So that was a huge part of the book as well. It took her 5 years to get through the project, and it wasn't originally going to be a book. It was just like she is a fashion designer. That was her trade. That's what she was doing. This was a side project, and it turned into her main hustle eventually. So it's such a cool book.
That's my kind of research.
Yeah,
Great pies,
eating through like,
baking.
it definitely, and she lived in Brooklyn at the time of doing this also, like she had access to a lot of different cultures and people, and so she did a lot of research there, but then she would actually go, and she didn't go to every state, but she went to a lot of the states as she was creating this book.
Well, I think traveling through food is a little bit more affordable than traveling via plane ticket.
For sure, for sure, yeah.
Have you taken a peek inside the book? Can you give us some sneak peeks on what kind of pies?
So I guess we should talk about Delaware's pie, the event.
Are we a peach pie?
It is a
good
peach
guess.
pie.
Yes.
It is a peach pie.
Good job.
So for Delaware, she created a peach custard pie. So Delaware was the 8th one she did.
Nice.
So
It's good being first.
it's good being first. Yep, she focused on that. So what I spend a lot of time in the summer working with Bennett Orchards and Bennett Peaches, so a lot of people think like Georgia's most known for peaches. Delaware was first. We were doing them before Georgia.
Yeah.
And Bennett has been growing peaches for 6 generations. Henry Bennett, who I did, I do a demo with at the historic Lewis Farmers Market every summer. They have the best peaches, not only in the state, but I think on the East Coast, maybe in the country. Peaches are big in this state, so that's part of the reason that she chose a peach custard pie. She also took note of how important poultry is in the state, and so that's why she ultimately developed the peach custard pie. She wanted to do something highlighting eggs, and so that's how the peach custard pie was born.
I was thinking it'd be like a chicken pot pie with like chicken or something.
And there are a lot of savory pies in the book. She did do a lot of savory pies, California's pies, and artichoke pie. But the fact that it's peaches and then incorporating the custard for chickens is pretty cool.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah. So what could attendees of Monday's event expect if they come out?
So Stacy will be there. You get a copy of her book signed by her, and she'll be talking about the blog, how the whole project came to be. She'll certainly be talking about the Delaware pie, and I am making the Delaware pie for guests to sample.
Oh, good. And you know, Drew, so I'm amateur baker, you're a professional baker, right? So who would you recommend this book for? Is it something that anyone could pick up and just start baking?
Absolutely. I think she should consider herself a professional baker now. She actually worked after she lost her job in fashion because of COVID.
Yep.
And so she pivoted and got a job at 4 and 20 Blackbirds, a famous bakery in Brooklyn that I have many friends who have worked at over the years. So we have that connection there too.
Nice.
So she turned her hobby and blog into her profession, worked there for a year and a half, and really studied up. But she developed all these recipes for home bakers. So this is very much a book for anybody.
Perfect.
So we'll be there.
Yes, yes. It's really a great gift, I think, as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, great.
Yeah, so especially if you've got a baker in your life and you want to get them a signed copy and then you eat the pie, it's
Perfect. I'll buy the book. I'll bring in pies for 50 days.
There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it's going to be a really cool day, and I actually have another secret pie that everybody's going to get a sample of that day as well, that kind of combines some of Stacy's history and my history, and so you'll see a relation to Holiday Baking Championship with that pie, and it's something that's special to Stacy too. So not going to reveal that ahead of time.
So
You have to come to the event.
Yes.
Okay. Do people have to sign up ahead of time?
Yep, so there's tickets. You can go on Soto's website or Browseabout's website, and there's a link to the tickets.
Easy enough.
My Instagram as well. There's a link to the tickets
Perfect.
as well.
Good.
And the when and where, just one more time for people because I know they want to go.
Yes, so it is this Monday at Fish On from 3 to 5 o'clock.
You got it. Did you write it down? Cool.
Be there.
If you didn't, go to his Instagram.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Drew, thank you so much for sharing about this really cool event, this really special book.
Yes.
And I know there's a lot to look forward to on Monday.
There is, and it's my pleasure being
Thank you,
here.
Drew.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And there's a lot more to look forward to with more Coast Life when we get back. You're watching Coast Life. And Paige, there's so many incredible places and things to do and things to eat in Ocean City.
Do I know it? Yes.
And one really unique way to explore all those amazing meals and experiences is with the OC Foodie. Our field correspondent, Maya Henry, is going to tell us more.
Paige and Leah, I have a delicious treat in front of me. I have a Nacho's Mother's Grilled Cheese. That name is one of a kind within itself. And then right beside me, I have Miss Sandy Gillis. How are you, Miss Sandy?
I'm great, Maya. How are you?
Very good. And Miss Sandy is doing something really cool that I have never heard of, and maybe you haven't heard of it either, but today you will. So Miss Sandy, tell me about your OC Foodie Tour.
All right. Basically, it is a culinary journey through Ocean City's impressive local restaurant and bar scene. We combine history, local lore, fun facts, and you learn about the families who created this wonderful dishes and the places that you get to stop at.
Nice. So you say you tell the history while having people tour these different locations.
Yes.
What are some of these locations that you take people?
Well, right now we're at Tail Chasers, which is one of our favorite places for the bay hopping tour that we do. The bay hopper comes to 3 different locations, Tail Chasers being one of them, and a couple other restaurants. Actually, we stop at the Ocean City Center for the Arts as well.
Wow, that's really cool. And is there a limit on how many people can come on this? Do they go by boat? Do they walk? How does this tour like kind of go?
It's about 12 is the maximum, 4 is the minimum. Several of our tours are walking tours where we stop at 5 or 6 different places, tasting all kinds of wonderful things along the way while learning about the families that started it.
Cool.
And the one that goes by boat, we go to 3 locations. We have one tour that goes by an air-conditioned bus where we go out to the winery, we go out to a few locations in Berlin, we change it up each tour. So it's always a surprise. We never know what the chef's gonna prepare.
So you go by bus, you go by walking, and you said you even go by boat as well?
Yes.
How did this idea even come to be? This is really cool.
I know, right? My husband and I discovered these food tours about 8 or 9 years ago when we were traveling. And it's the best way to get to learn about a town with a local. A guide's going to take you around to all the places, the nooks and crannies, places you would never normally find on your own. So we discovered these tours and we started doing them every time we went away. And I kept saying to my husband, somebody needs to do this in Ocean City. It's a great thing for people to learn about Ocean City while nibbling on different food items.
And do you see more locals or do you see more tourists doing this?
It's about half and half, believe it or not. A lot of our guests that come are locals, and they're surprised at how much they learn about the city they've lived in.
Yeah. I actually want to take a tour like this. Usually when I go eat, it's just you stop at a restaurant, you go do what you have to do. But that's really cool that you thought of this cool idea.
And it gets you out of your normal place because we all go to the same 5 places. We order the same thing when we get there.
Of course.
So this gets you a different variety of things to taste that you might not normally taste. Some of our tours offer a crab cracking lesson where we open the crab, we show you the body parts, tell if it's male or female, and tell you a little bit of history about the crab, which is, of course, our delicacy here in Ocean City and all of Maryland. Soft shell crab is also on the menu, which is a unique dish. Oysters.
Yes.
A lot of people, unless you've lived in Maryland, have never tried those things.
And that's very true. I had a soft shell crab before, but I know yours are probably way better than my experience. So the history of this, did you get the history all from yourself? Was it research? How did you go about finding all the great things about all the different tours that you have?
Well, a lot of the information came from Bunkman's book. It's called Vanishing Ocean City.
Okay.
And I got his permission to use a lot of his articles and his photographs. And just some great old school history, a lot of research and asking locals. I did a lot of interviews with every restaurant, every chef. I have about 60 restaurants that I've partnered with. So I've interviewed every one of them and found out the things that inspire them and what they like to prepare and how it connects to Ocean City and our history.
And what are some of the tours that you take people on? You said there's 8 tours altogether?
We have a downtown Ocean City, which starts at the Angler Restaurant, which is the oldest restaurant in Ocean City. And that's where the history of fishing began with Captain Bill Bunting, just, you know, the White Marlin Open. We talk about that a lot.
Yes.
And then that takes you down to the inlet where we learn about the hurricane in 1933 that created Assateague Island and opened the inlet, which allowed for the fishing industry to come in. Nice. Then we walk up the boardwalk and we taste lots of sweet, unique things. And Midtown Tour is more the modern part of town with the restaurants that are there year round. It's a newer part of town, less history, but more for the foodie that maybe already has done that tour or has already learned about Ocean City. Berlin is wonderful. The town of Berlin, there's a lot of history there.
Okay.
Atlantic Hotel is a great place. Nice. And a lot of old historic touches that we touch on there. So that's a wonderful place. And then the history of Salisbury, Savory Salisbury Tour. Wonderful town, great restaurants year round. And a lot of people from Ocean City have never even been downtown Salisbury, and there's wonderful restaurants down there.
That's absolutely cool. And I would love to try something like this, and I know you guys would love to try it too. So what do we have in front of us going on, Sandy?
Well, this is something that you'll taste on the Bay Hopping Savor the Bay food tour. So this is the Nacho Mother's grilled cheese.
Yes.
So you can give that a try. This is a cheeseburger.
Okay.
And of course, French fries.
All right.
And let me know what you think.
All right, Sandy, so we got our mother's
Nacho Mother's grilled cheese.
Girl, there we go. And we also have another alcoholic beverage. What kind of alcoholic beverage is this one?
That is the Tail Chasers Orange Crush. As you know, Ocean City's famous for the Orange Crush.
Yes.
And they make them great here.
And I'm really excited to try it. You want to try it with me?
Sure.
All right. It tastes like a cheesesteak and a grilled cheese, and it is so good. That is really good. So do people get to try things like this on your tours? Is this one of the things they've tried?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, they are super lucky. And how about this orange crush?
Give it a try. Let me know what you think.
All right. This is really good. Paige and Leah, as you can see, this food speaks for itself, and I'm definitely excited to go on one of these tours. So Sandy, how can someone reach you if they would love to go or try this food or go on one of your tours?
They can just go to ocfoodietour.com and book the tour themselves. You can check all of our social media pages for all the videos and shots of all the actual food that we serve.
All right, guys, there's more Coast Life on the way.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by Ocean City Tourism.
You are watching Coast Life, and I'm sure you've probably heard about the strikes going on in
Yes.
Hollywood.
Yes.
How are you feeling about them? Maybe you don't know enough about them to have an opinion on them, because that's
I'm
kind
confused.
Kind of where we're at. We're confused. So we brought in one of our favorite experts, Rob Rector, joining us on the Coast Life couch
morning.
today.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Here?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much for having
Of
me.
course.
Always. So I guess sort of let's start by breaking down these strikes. Where did they
Sure.
start? Why
Okay.
are they going on? And I guess why should we over here on the East Coast care?
Right. Okay. So the strikes were. Let's start back in March. Actually, we just passed the 100-day mark of the WGA strike, the Writers Guild Association.
Yes.
So Writers Guild of America. So they started a strike for two basic reasons. One is streaming, and the other is AI. So then, just recently, the Screen Actors Guild, SAG, has joined in unison with their with some of their concerns and some of their demands. So it has led to kind of a Hollywood-wide strike.
Yeah.
And in order to kind of understand it, you need to kind of go back to the halcyon days of 2010, maybe around there, before streaming became a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I do remember kind of mumblings of streaming affecting writers and their pay.
Yes, and streaming affects a lot of different things. So prior to streaming, what writers would do is there would be say 20 episodes would make up a season. So these would be your CSIs, your Grey's Anatomies, so on and so forth. So over that course, there would be about the 20 episodes. It would start in the fall in September. Fun fact, do you know why the television seasons start in the fall?
You know, I learned it in college, and I remember learning it, and I don't remember why.
So it is to coincide with car commercials.
Ah.
So car dealers wanted to introduce their new lines of cars, so they started the season to coincide with that. So
Makes sense.
Yeah.
that's a little asterisk. We can cut that, whatever.
No, I love it.
But so with that, if a show builds up for over 5 years, it is eligible for syndication. So when it goes into syndication, it goes into your TBS, your USA Network, so on and so forth. And in that hour, there's 5 blocks where they put commercials. So that helps the writers get paid with residual checks.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Streaming came along, wiped all that out. So now you have people who are writing for maybe 5 episodes a season, maybe it's 3 episodes a season, and then they're not in syndication, they just sit in those various silos in the Disney Plus, in the Netflix, and the residual checks are minimal. So Kimiko Glenn, who was an actor on Orange is the New Black, she was on it for 4 or 5 seasons, 44 episodes, whatever that was. 44 episodes. She got her residual check. Her residual check was $27.
That was a big show.
All of those shows there. That was $27.
$27.
So you have this incredible disparity of the writers who are now being paid about 23% less, average about $26 an hour now, and then the CEO pay, which is now 53% more than what they made. So there's this great disparity between the two, and they're saying, hey, look, we want the writers are gig workers.
Yeah.
You know, they're like Uber drivers prior to being Uber drivers. So they would work from gig to gig to gig, but now they can't sustain anything in between them. They have to find that next one, or they're subsidizing with, bartending jobs, so on and so forth. And the average salary of a WGA worker or an actor actually is about $26 an hour. Now, it's like, you know, to live here on $26 an hour is difficult.
Sure.
Much less in the areas in which they are producing these, the
Yes.
New York, California, so on and so forth. So that's the one thing. The streaming is the one aspect, but then you have AI, which is another major disruption to it.
We know it.
Yes. So the writers want to say, hey, look, you know, we don't want AI in the writing room because we're the creative talent.
Right.
It's coming from humans. We want this to be human developed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And where it splits off kind of a little bit between the writers and the actors is that the actors now, some of the producers are saying, hey, look, we're going to use AI to scan these background actors. Background actors are those that you see in stadium scenes or when they're walking down the street and you see these people. So what they're saying is, we're going to pay you for 1 day of work. We're going to scan you. Then we are going to use your likeness in perpetuity without you getting compensated for it.
Oh, I was trying to understand this AI thing for a long time.
Yes.
So glad you explained that.
So now they could scan you in if you just did a walkthrough on Sex and the City 4, right?
They own that image.
They own that image of you, and then your grandkids could see you kind of walking by in a stadium scene, but you wouldn't get compensated for it.
Yeah, I know that's voiceover work is also a big hurdle with AI.
Exactly, exactly. So, you know, it's one is the streaming that has disrupted everything, and the disparity between the CEO salaries and the writer salaries, because people will follow writers. They'll follow what David Chase is doing, you know, what his next one is. They're not going to say, oh, wow, this is a Reed Hastings joint. Reed Hastings is the CEO of Netflix.
Right.
You know, they're not following because of him. So they're saying, hey, look, this is our
No writers,
lifeblood.
no show.
Exactly, exactly. And
No
same
lines.
with actors. Same with the actors too. It's not, you know, we see that the top percentage, the Tom Cruises, the Margot Robbies, you know, that's the top percent, but the average is about $26,000 a year.
This makes so much more sense.
It does, right? Well, Rob, thank you, as always, for coming
Absolutely.
in and sharing your incredible knowledge of Hollywood, movies, writers, the sort of inside scoop, our local inside scoop on all things entertainment related, really.
Anytime. All right.
Well, we've got more entertainment coming your way with more Coast Life, so stick around.
You're watching Coast Life, and we are all vacation vibes today. Got the sunnies on, got the beach chairs out, because let's face it, we're an awesome spot for a vacay on the coast. People love coming to the beach. They love coming for the food. But vacationing, you don't always have to leave home to do so. Today we are going to talk about staycationing, and we're going to do so with Ryan McClintock, who is a territory manager for Cambridge Pavers. We're kind of staycationing here in our beach chairs today, am I right, Ryan?
Correct.
So a staycation, for folks who maybe haven't even done it before, how would one even describe what a staycation is?
Well, I don't think it's a surprise that after a great vacation, a lot of homeowners are overcome by the all too familiar feeling of not wanting to return to normal everyday life.
Yes.
You know, gone are those easy breezy relaxation feelings, and you long for those days again. And you wonder, is it possible to recreate those feelings without having to spend the expense as well as the resources and the time needed to make another trip. So the good news is, by creating a staycation at home, entertainment, relaxation is no longer something that you have to leave the home for a week or two on another trip. You can attain it at home in your own outdoor living space, and you can enjoy it every day, all year round.
I love it. So, Ryan, how do I do that?
Well, you know, a true destination, it's something that allows us to escape, but it also draws us in by allowing us to be relaxed and being at ease. So whenever you're designing an outdoor living space, you want to think about the amenities from your favorite retreats. Make sure you add those amenities to your outdoor space. For instance, if you are a beach person, I'd highly recommend adding a cabana with some comfy lounge chairs by the pool, creating an outdoor space where you can feel like you've escaped. If you love to have a quiet reading time, make sure you design an cozy little outdoor reading nook that you can read next to a bubbling water fountain or even an internal flame. Can't overstate how water and fire elements can really quickly transform an outdoor space into something very unique. You can also look to add an outdoor kitchen or even an outdoor bar where you can stock up on drinks and food while you're soaking up the sun.
And you said a pizza oven. You guys are having pizza ovens nowadays, right?
Correct. We have several different types of pizza ovens. We even came out this year with a pizza oven fireplace combo all in one unit.
A combo?
Yep.
Okay, I'm loving all of this. So I love the beach, I love the reading, I love the food. So I definitely hope that my husband's listening because we have ours ready to go here. But here's the deal. Here's what he would say to me is, Katie, we don't necessarily have the budget to do all those things. So how would somebody do something like this, create this space without breaking the budget?
Sure. The nice thing about creating an outdoor space is it doesn't have to be done right away or all at once. You can, for a homeowner that's working on a budget, find a certified installer, let them know what your vision for that backyard or that outdoor space is going to be, and then they can sit there and plan and help you design over time and in phases and make your vision a reality.
That's perfect. So let's say I don't totally know what exactly my vision is. Like maybe I have some ideas, but how can I kind of get an idea of what I want to do?
Sure. For inspiration, go to our website, cambridgepavers.com. There you can see the different sizes, shapes, textures, the colors of our products. You can browse our electronic catalog. You can see our design gallery that shows all of our products in the ground in different applications and settings. There you can also read on ArmorTech, which is our manufacturing, state-of-the-art manufacturing process that allows us and we can guarantee that our products are going to last the lifetime of that investment that you're making in your outdoor space. And then you can also check out social media. We have a heavy presence on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Houzz, as well as Pinterest.
I bet I could get lost in your social media just for hours, just looking at all the pretty things.
Yes.
And I know ArmorTech is a huge deal.
Yes, it is our manufacturing process. Basically, we have a very tight, smooth surface, very rich, vibrant colors, and it's going to last the lifetime of that investment.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much. Of course, Ryan McClintock, who is the territory manager for Cambridge Pavers. And if you guys do this, if you guys do create your outdoor space, we want to see it. Send it to us. Hit us up on social media because we want to see it because it's going to look amazing. For now, though, I'm going to bring back my vacation vibes and I'm going to take a break while we take a break. Coast Life will be right back.
All right, Coast Life, it is that time of the week where Leah here tries to convince me to bring home a new pet.
Every time.
Every time, and every time I come this close. But hopefully you are more persuaded, more easily persuaded than I am.
Yes.
Because we want you to adopt these pets. So here's our field correspondent, Maya Henry, talking to Humane Animal Partners, showing you this week's Pet of the Week.
Paige and Leah, meet my new buddy, Rollo. And he could be your buddy too, guys, from the Humane Animal Partners in Rehoboth Beach. So tell me some facts about him.
Yeah, the ears and the smile will get you every time, right? Rollo is about 1.5 years old, shepherd mix, but as always I say do the DNA test because it's interesting and gives us a lot of good information about the breeds and the characteristics. But a little bit about his history, to be honest with you, it's sad, but we think he definitely has a bright future. He was adopted out from us as a puppy, and then he was picked up by a different organization in another state as a stray. Yeah, so we're really not sure what happened, but thank goodness they contacted us and we got him back. And to be honest with you, he is nothing but a joyful dog. He's done wonderful with us in the shelter, making lots of friends wherever he goes, humans and dogs and kids and all of it. So like I said, we know he has a bright future with his new family that hopefully we'll find him soon.
So is he good with other animals?
He is. We actually had him at our Run for Paws, which is a Dewey 5K last week, and there were lots of other dogs there, lots of people, and over 400 runners were actually at the event. So he met a ton of people and a bunch of dogs, and he did wonderful. An active home would be great for him. I think I could see him on a boat or hiking on the trails, running around in the backyard with his new family. So, a home that's going to give him the life he deserves, but not that he needs to go all day long, but you know, he's young, he is athletic, and I think he would really enjoy that kind of lifestyle.
So I heard you had some fundraisers that previously happened. So do you have any coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 things I wanted to mention. One, we are in the middle of Clear the Shelters. So we do have some promotions going on to help our animals such as Rollo find forever homes. They are discounted adoption fees. But we still do go through the whole adoption meet process, but you will talk with an adoption counselor to find the right fit for you. So that's going on. We have different promos each week in August. And then in September 21st, we have our biggest fundraising event of the year. It's called Save 'em by the Sea Casino Night. It sounds as fun as it is, yeah. It is being held at the Baywood Clubhouse in Millsboro, right off of 24 there. We'll have live, you know, casino games, real dealers, although you don't have to pay to play.
That is a plus.
We'll have a Sinatra era singer, performer, dancing, food, silent auction, wonderful trips to bid on, and again, yeah, it is our biggest fundraiser of the year. Tickets are on sale and you can find them on our website.
You heard it first from Miss Lee. I fell in love with Rollo as soon as I seen him, and you can too. Please visit their website for any additional information. There's more Coast Life on the way.
Leah, can you believe it? The final day of the White Marlin Open.
Flew by so fast.
So fast. And are we going to get a white marlin?
I don't know.
I love my pose.
Yes. But we do know that Marlin Fest is going on as well. Tons of fun for everybody that's attending White Marlin Open, whether you're a fisherman or not.
Exactly.
Marlin Fest has you covered. And we also know that our friends at Delmarva Sports Network have you covered on all things White Marlin Open, so we are going to check in with them.
Yeah, Paige and Leah, today marks the final day of the White Marlin Open, which also marks the final day of Marlin Fest. The week-long event has food vendors, merchandise tables, and everything you could ask for. It offers a different perspective outside of the competition and the scales on the docks.
And one of the most known perspectives are the ones that sell the food.
So we have something unique that we brought down from Buffalo, New York called pizza logs. So it's a giant egg roll with sauce, cheese, and pepperoni inside. And then the big hit for us right now are our flatbreads for one. You can make your own. We got buffalo chicken, pickle.
And there's also some hidden local gems, including local author Katie Ruski.
So my tent here has books. I have children's books and I have an actual novel about the White Marlin Open. It's a fiction novel that's based on 3 captains that fish in the tournament. It's only 7 chapters long, and at the beginning of each chapter, it shows the leaderboard throughout the book. So as the captains are catching fish, it actually changes throughout. I have my newest book, If You Give a Crab a Seashell. I had the ABCs of Ocean City, and we're quickly running out, so if you want it, come on down before I run out. Just being a part of the White Marlin Open, like with my books, is just like exciting. The whole town is just excited. You know, you can see the excitement that everybody's down here, especially today with, you know, being at the last day, and all 353 boats I think went out today. So everyone is just at the electric.
There's even live production of the event for fans attending Marlin Fest to follow the action from the scales.
It's our first year at the White Marlin Open, and it happens to be their 50th anniversary, so a big honor for us. You know, it's an incredible spectacle. It's the most amount of boats in the entire country when it comes to offshore tournaments.
And all of this combined has led to some who have made attending Marlin Fest an annual event.
This is my 10th year. Yeah. Come every year as much as I can. I really like watching the boats go out and having them come in and then following them on the monitors or my iPhone or whatever, who brought in what. And it's just exciting.
Just a Marlin Fest guy. I'm from Florida, like I said. I love the fishing.
And one constant sentiment I heard from everyone here at Marlin Fest, they'll be back again next year. Reporting from Ocean City, Maryland for the Delmarva Sports Network, I'm Luke Milai. Paige and Leah, back to you.
And so thankful for Delmarva Sports Network for keeping us updated all things all the time, because they are the official TV station of the White Marlin Open, so on TV and their app.
Yes, and make sure you download that app, because even though this is the final day of White Marlin Open, there's going to be plenty more sports coverage with our friends at Delmarva Sports Network, especially as everybody kind of goes back to school.
Yeah.
Those school sports, football starting back up.
Hey, it's football season, so you want to be prepared. Download that app. But while you do that, just stay right there where you are, because we have more Coast Life coming. Couple reminders for you, Coast Life, before we let you go. Happening like right now, the final weigh-ins for White Marlin Open. Yeah. Do you have your Delmarva Sports Network app so you can watch live?
Download it.
Download it.
Download it now.
No.
And don't forget, we were asking you about peaking in high school. It's something you see a lot of skits on social media. It's just something to, I think, honestly, something that's important to be honest with yourself about.
Yeah, we aren't poking fun at you. We're poking fun with you because I too probably peaked in high school.
Don't think so.
It's fine.
I think the first step to, having another peak is to be aware if you peaked in high school, because, nobody says you can't do it again.
Thank you. That makes me feel better. Maybe I've had multiple peaks in my life, and high school
Peaks
was
and
just one of
valleys,
them.
baby.
Yes. I'm going to tell you all about my high school after this. Just kidding.
Can't wait.
Let us know, though. We just want to be there with you. And please, this is a serious thing. Please let me know if you applied for your name to be Subway.
Yes.
I have to know because I'm this close to doing it.
Yeah, I think you should.
I know.
Throw your name in the running.
Don't. I'm close, Leah. I'm very close.
Great. There's also a lot going on this weekend. Don't forget, the Rehoboth Art League has their outdoor show going on this weekend. And if you wanted to check out the Mare Institute, they're also doing some of their dolphin cruises.
That's right. Before you get to all of that, though, just stay where you are because Coast TV News at 5 is next. And we're going to miss you, but we're going to see you next week. Have a